Okay. All right, so we're going to do our first soil texturing. We're starting at the bottom of the second pit in our volcanic transect. And so this is the higher elevation. So grab a little bit of soil. Grab our water bottle, wet it up. You can always tell a little bit just wetting it what's going on. This is sucking the water up pretty fast, so makes me think it's a little bit sandier. If it's clayier, it would start to pond first and then really suck the water up once you work it. But this kind of the water just went right in. So a micro infiltration study. All right. So we're just working this up in our hand, getting a little this ideal sort of Play-Doh-y texture that we're looking for. Myself already as I mix the ball up here. Holding a little bit of the shape of a ball, so it's not just a full-on sand. Add just a tiny bit more water. It's not as ashy as I thought it might be. You know, I thought it was going to be really sort of smooth, buttery, like almost like that strange silt feeling. So just biasing my own sort of interpretation, sort of the things that go on in your head as you're sort of making these observations, you start to sort of make this story. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this was higher elevation. Maybe there wasn't enough pedogenesis to start building, you know, these poorly crystallines and things like that. But we'll see what happens with the sodium fluoride as far as the presence of andic soil properties. So we got our texture ball, and it's holding the ball pretty well, right? So it's not like a loamy sand or something, or a sand, but it's pretty gritty. Trying to work up a ribbon. It's getting a little bit of a ribbon, maybe around around an inch. So yeah, I think we have it. I don't have the flow chart with me, but it's probably a sandy loam. Maybe 20% clay, something like that. Garrett, you want to take a crack?
Go ahead. I'm gonna keep working on this, but I think I would guess it's in that range, maybe less.
Yeah. Loamy sand, maybe sandy loam.
Cause I don't know what the cutoff for loamy sand is, but it's got to be in like I think it's like 10%.
Yeah, let's take a look.
It's 10.
10?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Only because I looked it up yesterday.
Okay.
Or like 2 days ago.
And my prison tattoo is not going to be much good in this one, you know.
Well, that was perfect.
All right.
At least you knew about soil before you went to prison.
So the texture triangle's in here somewhere. All right. It's going to be like a coarse sandy loam. So sandy loam, yeah, about 20% is right at the line. So my intuition is
Less.
20. Yeah, is less. So I'm going to go 18% clay, sandy loam. Okay, that's the call. And let's do this real quick. Let's do another one of these sort of semi-quantitative tests. So we're going to take like a dime-sized piece of soil, and we're going to set that aside. And we're going to take another dime-sized piece of soil and put that in our hand. We're going to do kind of like a mini Boyukos here. So a mini weight separation, density separation, density fractionation. So we're going to wet it up, and what we're trying to do is get all the silt and clay into suspension, and then see how much sand we have left, and then we're gonna make one of those semi-quantitative estimates of sand. So you can see there's actually a fair amount of ashy, silty, clayey material coming out there, more than I thought there was when we were in the pit.
It's a good point to make, is that remember that clay is a size fraction. We always assume that it's clay minerals, but it's also a particle size. So it could be fine particles that aren't of phyllosilicate nature, especially in these volcanic soils that have either the nucleation of small short-range order materials or the decomposition of ash into fine, very, very fine particle sizes.
So this is not a 100% perfect estimate. You can see some of the sand's running off. But it's sort of a fun trick, party trick. Impress your friends and neighbors. Pile that up. Put this, oh, crap. Put this next to it. And yeah, you can see that's more than 50% sand in there. I mean, it's probably like 70% sand. Yeah, so what, 70% sand, so let's call it 65% sand. Yeah, that's right in that sandy loam. All right, cool. Coarse sandy loam.
Is that the
Field trip, and this is that lower elevation, deep red soil, under pine and black oak and things like that. So this is the second from the bottom horizon, and got, you know, given a fair amount. Can't quite see my thumbprint in it, so I can't remember the rule. It's something like if you can see your thumbprint, it's over 35, and so, but we're right on that sort of edge of loam and clay loam. It's got a pretty good ribbon as I've been working it up more. So it's got more than a 2.5 centimeter ribbon. Oops. Not very gritty. Pretty slippery. I'm gonna say that this is probably a clay loam, like right around 30, 32, something like that. Okay, thanks. You can kind of see some of my thumbprint. So I think it's just right in that beefy zone of clay loam. I'm gonna go maybe 5% higher. Yeah, that's actually significantly higher. So that last one was, I'm gonna adjust that last one down to 32, from 32 to 30. So right at the clay loam line. And clay loam's above 27, right? Yeah, 28. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna say that's like 35. Garrett, what do you think?
Yeah. Good. And that's the what, the 29 to 62?
Yeah. I'm going 35.
I think that's fair, and that gives you enough to get your...
Alright, so this is the horizon right above that red horizon. And so we got a texture ball worked up here. Much, much lighter. Grittier too. Still not, grittiness doesn't predominate. We'll work this up. Just maybe, you know, a centimeter or two. We're going to call this a loam at 22. Cut. Let's see if we got this. Not forming a good ribbon. It's an okay ribbon. It's pretty smooth. Not super gritty. Loam 22.